I don't know if you're really a believer like I am, but I thought this video might be of some interest, especially if you've always wondered about the afterlife and where people end up. I always wondered where Biggie, Tupac, and Michael Jackson were, right? Now, you take this with a grain of salt. This is just something to consider, right? Don't, yeah, y'all know how y'all are.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers.
Demons guarded in this cell. These demons were about 13 or 14 feet tall. They were pitch. The demons were darker than the darkness in hell. It's the craziest thing. And they had staffs. They had poles. And you couldn't tell that they were demons until they opened their eyes. Their pupils were white. But you could even tell that they were there because they blended in with the darkness. And they were guarding Biggie's cell. And in this cell, he was on fire. He had on a hospital gown, like we would wear here in the hospital. Like you would come to the hospital and be treated, and they would have you change your clothes and put you in a hospital gown, that type of hospital gown. And he was on fire, but the fire was coming from the inside of him. And he was just holding the bars. It was burning. And I'm standing there beside Jesus, and I asked Jesus, why is he here? And this is what Jesus said verbatim. It's on record in heaven. This man told me he didn't need me. This man believed he was a king. This man went to a fetish priest and got charms that he carried around in his pocket to become famous. He said, but mostly because he told me he didn't need me. And this man will be here throughout all of eternity. So after Jesus stopped speaking, one of the demons was speaking this language. It was ancient, but I had an idea what he said because of the actions of the other demon. The other demon opened the jail cell and got Biggie out of the jail cell, and a king's robe appeared out of nowhere, red and white king's robe. A golden crown appeared in his head, and they bound him hand and foot. And they took him and they put him in this machine. It's what I can't think of anything else to call it except a juicer. They put him in this juicer, and he felt, even though there are no bones in hell, one of the torments in hell is you still have the feeling of pain. You have the feeling that you have bones, the ligaments, the tendons, even though you don't, but you still have that feeling. That's one of the torments. And he felt the breaking of bones, the ripping of tissue, the ripping, the cracking of his skull. He felt it all. He came out like a big mush of like ground up hamburger with bone and tissue and blood in it. And then his body came right back into place, back the same way it was before they put him in the juicer. They took him back and put him in that jail cell, and they shut the door. And when they shut the door, he exploded. I mean, it was as if somebody put a bomb in his chest, and he exploded on fire. And he started to scream.
You know what's interesting? In his song, I just looked up one of his lyrics, 1994 song, Suicidal Thoughts, from Ready to Die, I guess the album. He did say, he says, when I die, he said a curse word, and says, I want to go to hell. He said it. That's where he wanted to go.
That's where he is.
Who else did you see there? So you saw Michael Jackson as well, and he was dancing, right?
Tupac and Biggie.
So Tupac was there. What did you, what was Tupac doing?
I didn't get to see him. You know how you glimpse at something and then it's gone? It wasn't meant for me to see his torment because I wasn't allowed to stand there longer than maybe a half a second. The one that God wanted me to see was Biggie. But Michael, Lord have mercy. All the dance moves Michael Jackson did, he got them from demons. And people do not know that Michael Jackson was a warlock. He was a witch, a warlock on the earth. People, they would not believe it, they wouldn't know it, but he was. He got all of his songs from demons. He got his dance move from demons. And in hell, the demons had whips and they were whooping him and beating him. And if he stopped dancing, every time he would stop dancing, ow, demon would hit him with a whip. If he stopped dancing, demon would hit him with a whip. And that's what they're going to be doing to him for all eternity, forcing him to dance without a break. And if he stops,
I played that clip because I've watched a number of them. This is the shortest one I've ever played or watched. And as much as we want to pretend that we are going to live forever or that we don't think about death or transitioning, something that's always on my mind a lot. The reality is you don't know where you're going to end up if you don't really have a real, true relationship with God or Jesus Christ. And me finding myself always having to repent constantly. I think about this. I thought this was necessary to be spread on this channel. Maybe one person, maybe nobody sees it. But it's something that I thought would be of interest to someone. Not even just for the fact of the names in general, but it's to say it doesn't really make a difference when you pass on from here. Your titles don't mean anything. I think that's the ultimate message here. So I just want myself and others to get a different perspective of what life is and what death is. And if you're not really in a great space with the creator, it's probably time to start getting some stuff in order. Just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. I care. So I thought I'd just give y'all a perspective that is from someone who seems to have had their own in real time experience, you know. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section.
Merry Christmas, filthy animals. And a Happy New Year.